Hi, and welcome back. I'm George Williams, founder and CEO of Reliability X, and I am here with the Reliability Sherpa himself, Mr. Ramesh Gulati.
Thank you, George, for inviting me to do this question rapid fire.
Rapid fire. All right. So today, right now, we're going to talk about a reliability engineer. We're going to talk a little bit about what it takes to be one, what type of skill sets you should look for, where they should be structured in the organization. So let's start out with first structuring. What are the responsibilities of a reliability engineer?
Well, it's a reliability engineer or reliability professional. It's a very, very important function within an organization. Many organizations don't have it. You have to create one and put them in the right place too. So both are important. Again, in my mind, a reliability professional should be more a critical thinker. He or she should have a more a problem solving skill set because again you could have mechanical, electrical, or whatever, doesn't matter, but have a more problem solving and more he is a team builder, coordinator, because a lot of people are involved in that. He has to or she has to do that, that's really important. And then as he or she gets on job, he has to learn and get some certification. Is important, get CMRP or CRL, those kind of some certification which helps him to do job better. Okay. Now, where this person should be, that's important too. I'll give you another example. When my management created a department with industrial engineering, which has a reliability engineering it, and we were part of originally, was part of a maintenance reliability group, separate maintenance group, and he pulled me out because he felt, our general manager felt that I may not be listened by people and there may be some issues there. So I was put in a kind of neutral operation department, production department,
Yeah.
where, hey, I could have some saying, people listen, and independent investigation or those kind of things. So that helps.
Yeah.
So I think every organization has to think who could be reliability professional engineers kind of people and where they should be located, how they can help the whole organization. With my role, and I was kind of a kind of independent department to speak, where I could go to procurement, I go to HR, I go to stores, I go to different people, and they can listen why reliability is important.
Yeah.
That helped me a lot in doing that.
I think the best success you see is when the reliability engineer or professional is not part of the maintenance organization, not part of a specific group, but centralized. And
That's right.
just to tell a personal story, long ago, there was a steam shutdown of the site that I was responsible for, and the shutdown was supposed to last all day Saturday and into Sunday while we brought the site back up. And in my investigate, we sheared a pipe, and what happened was we didn't want to pay double time, so we made everybody bring the site back up online too quickly. And so I did my investigation, and I wrote my investigation, and it basically said the site management caused the issue because they forced the thing back up, right? So I got called into an office. Make a long story short, I'm sitting down at the table, and the site associate director says to me, "You have to rewrite this report." I said, I'm not rewriting the report. And he looked at me and he said, "This is going to be bad for your career." And no kidding. Luckily, I didn't report into into the site or into just maintenance, because you would just be forced into
That's
rewrite
right.
the report, right? I mean, it's choices at that point, fired or
Well, it always helps you independent to speak. Otherwise,
you have to be.
investigation, yeah,
You have to be honest, or you can't
honest.
get better, right?
That's
If
right.
you
Yeah,
if you can't be honest, how can you improve?
improve, and that's important part. Honest, because you have to be doing the right things and you tell what's happened.
Yeah.
Yes, some people, again, everywhere politics plays, so we have to be aware of that. But still, we have to do our job right.
Yeah. It's for the betterment of the business, right?
Business.
Betterment of the company. So it's not about personal things. You got to set all that aside. Now, talk to me a little bit about where you're at in your journey and how that impacts the type of person you hire as a reliability professional, right? So if you're a an organization has been doing this a long time, you're probably on the analytical investigation side of things. We're analyzing data. If you're early and you don't even have PMs or processes in place, it's a different skill set.
That's right. Again, depends if you're trying to build a program. There you have to make sure you have to be. You should be aware or should be building. Hey, do you have a right kind of a PMs or how to optimize PM? Then you have to hire a people who have a little bit more knowledge in that area.
Yeah.
Which can help you to do that. And then if you are mature or want to do, then you have to be more analytical. Things are more where you analyze the data, what data is telling you, then to make a right decision. Those kind of things.
Yeah, and I think those understanding where you're at helps a company to articulate what type of skill sets
Yes.
they need.
Again,
Because you could hire wrong, right? You could
That's
hire
right.
the analytical person, and you need processes and change management and the things that maybe the analytical person might not have an expertise in.
That's right. Again, also you have to think about where you want to be, where you are today,
Right.
and what's your whole line here. Hey, if you don't have good PM, maybe that's what PM, PDM, RCM, those kind of expertise you need.
Right.
And then as you slowly build those, and then you become more analytical, then you really get into designing for reliability.
Right.
How you going to support that? Like my example, after I was done doing our reliability engineering, and then my management took me out. Hey, you have done enough here to speak. Let's go help those project guys.
Right.
We were doing over $100 million projects, capital projects, and those things were not working right. So we started focusing on the capital project, designing for reliability, building maintainability, reliability in our process, in our design.
Right.
And that was another challenge because there you had to train even designers, a capital project manager, why we have to build reliability in our assets, and also making sure we talked that earlier about training. So training was part of the capital project. We're going to spend this much money in training. The new process is coming. We have to do that.
Right. It's always good to take those folks on a tour of projects that have already been turned over so that you can see the panel they put above a water skid that nobody can possibly get to and say, here, I need you to
That's
change a
right.
board in that panel. Go ahead and do it. And
That's right.
then they go, well, how am I supposed to do that? Exactly.
You are 100% right. In fact, our designers, somehow, it's an old culture, somehow they were trained, don't go in the shop.
Right.
When I got there, I said, why don't you go and talk to people who
Right.
are maintainer? What kind of challenge they have it? So finally it got on them. They have to start visiting the plant and looking where the problems are, how they can solve them.
Yeah. All right. So reliability engineer. What about people skills, computer skills?
Well, all our people skill are very, very important. Again, I said one of the skill set he needs to have or she needs to have is your coordination, working with them, because reliability touches everyone. Whether you are doing procurement or you're doing HR, all different people, different roles, you have to work with them. So
We should probably change. We should change that from the DNA of success to we touch everyone.
we touch everyone. In fact, I have a
It'd be a little creepy, but
I have a chart where I show, hey, you have asset here.
yeah.
Now asset has to be operated.
So you have an
Somebody
operator.
operator.
Yeah.
You have a maintainer maintain it.
Yeah.
Then you got a capital project guy or somebody
Somebody to design it.
design it
Yeah.
somewhere. Then you have even this maintenance guy who maintain it. There has to be somebody who is a PMing, developing PMs and
Right.
doing condition based. Then you got HR guy who's doing the training.
Right.
And, there's a lot of people touch that asset indirectly, not directly.
Yeah.
And all are involved. So this person has to work with all of those guys.
That's right. That's exactly
So
right.
it's a quite big role, again, depending upon how mature you are. Sometimes you have the same one guy head. Sometimes you may have several heads.
And the people skill side of things helps with where do I get support to continue to improve, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Because all those groups that you mentioned, HR and finance and procurement, all those groups, safety, they all have their own objectives and their own budgets and everything else. And if you can get those folks to understand that reliability helps support their goals,
That's right.
then you get more support in those meetings, right? And that requires people skills.
That's right. So people skills are important, very important.
Yeah.
Skills that this person should have. And analytical capability to analyze a problem solving, those things.
So if somebody out there is saying, hey, they're a maintenance person or a maintenance supervisor, maintenance manager, and they want to move and shift into the reliability area, what are the top one or two things that they should be looking
Well, again,
to do?
I think start learning about what's reliability, how to calculate reliability, how to design for reliability, those kind of things. As you start working on, you have to learn it. I have to learn that too. Again,
You invented it. What are you talking about?
not invented. I went through the hardship, learned the hard way how should we design, because those things were, I couldn't believe.
You're the trailblazer. You're the reason the rest of us didn't have to get burned.
But hey, I went through those. How the heck these designers can design this way? To open a cover of this V-belts, somebody welded it.
Right.
Or somebody designed so it was so close to the wall, you could not take the guard off.
Dink. Right.
So, I mean, those are kind of issue. They had the valve strainer was up 10 feet high. They thought it's maybe once a year, but it was happening, getting clogged up twice a day. You have to climb up and do it. So those are kind of things people have to think about, and you have to educate people on this.
Yeah.
And you learn on.
And the reliability engineer has a strong focus there as well. I remember at a previous location I was at, they decided to build a new cafeteria, and there was a building that had an open center, right, open courtyard, and it was 4 sides to the building, and they were going to take over this courtyard to put in a new cafeteria. The existing cafeteria was in one of those 4 buildings. So they added a whole wing of the cafeteria with 26 different either floor drains or sinks. They didn't increase the grease trap size. They didn't increase the main drain. Nothing. Just added it. And and I was going into the meetings going, that's not going to work. Like we already PM'd the crap out of this thing. True story. The end result was they didn't listen. They just put it in there, did the project anyway. The lift station was overflowing with grease so bad, you can't make this stuff up. We put a trolling motor, like a boat motor, on 2 poles to lower into the lift station to chop the grease up so we could send the lift station out. And we had to do that like once a week. So then, as the reliability engineer, though, you're now is data analysis. So what we did was we analyzed what it was costing us to PM it before the project. What's it costing now?
After the project.
And it was costing us an additional $20,000 a year to take care of this lift station because we were going so often. Well, that pays a 3-year ROI, $60K, increase the grease trap. And that's what they did. We were able to cost justify it. So we didn't get the upfront buy-in, but the role of reliability engineering allows you to say, okay, well, here's the ROI now. Go fix what I told you was the problem the first time.
Again, that's a classical challenge we have in the plants, that we don't think long term what's going to happen. We just take a quick band-aid. Hey.
Yeah. Well, the reliability engineer plays a critical role in the success of your plant, in maintenance, in availability, in production output, in safety impact. It's a critical role that everyone should have.
And again, as you said, hey, don't forget, safety and reliability go hand in hand. As you become more reliable, you become safer. As your example, if those doesn't clean up the mess, what's great is going to create unsafe hazard conditions.
Oh yeah, you got 2 people holding a motor trying to drop it into an open pit. You shouldn't be doing that.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time once again, Ramesh.
Thank you for inviting me to do this.
Awesome. You guys have a great day.